Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Spiritual Magic. We're so happy you've joined us today as we uncover one of the most fascinating aspects of palmistry, the crescent moon on your hand and its powerful meaning. If you've ever noticed a crescent-shaped mark on your palm and wondered what it means, you're in for an enlightening journey. This unique mark can say so much about your emotional depth, spiritual alignment, and even your intuitive abilities. But before we get into all that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on our magical content. We love hearing from you, so please drop us a comment below to let us know if you have this crescent moon on your hand, and feel free to share your experience with us. Let's dive into the magical meaning behind the crescent moon mark. What is palmistry? Palmistry is the art of reading palms, and it has been practiced for thousands of years across many different cultures and regions. From the ancient Greeks to Indian mystics, palmists have long believed that the hands reveal a person's character, life path, and even destiny. Your hands, specifically the lines, mounts, and shapes, are not random but rather reflections of your inner world, your emotions, and your soul's journey. In palmistry, each hand is unique. There are no two hands exactly alike. Palmists use a system of interpreting the lines, mounts, and markings on your hands to learn more about your personality and potential future. These markings can vary from person to person, and even the subtle crescent moon shape is said to hold special significance. Understanding the crescent moon. Now that we understand the basics of palmistry, let's focus on the crescent moon. This symbol typically appears at the base of your thumb, in the area near the Mount of Venus. The crescent moon can vary in appearance. It can be subtle and faint, or it may be a more pronounced shape. Palmists believe that this crescent shape is a powerful indicator of a person's spiritual and emotional makeup. The crescent moon is deeply symbolic in many cultures, and its meaning can vary depending on its context. In palmistry, the crescent moon mark is thought to represent feminine energy, intuition, and deep emotional sensitivity. If you have this mark, it's believed to show that you're not only aware of your inner feelings, but also deeply connected to the cycles of the moon, a symbol of change, growth, and transformation. This mark is not something that everyone has, which adds to its mystical quality. The crescent moon is said to be a rare and unique feature that marks you as someone special, capable of navigating life with a deep sense of purpose and emotional intelligence. But what exactly does this crescent moon mean for you? Spiritual meaning of the crescent moon. The crescent moon symbol has been revered throughout history. In ancient Egypt, it was associated with the goddess Isis, representing fertility, intuition, and the mysteries of the night. In other cultures, the crescent moon is linked to the divine feminine qualities such as nurturing, emotional depth, intuition, and wisdom. The phases of the moon are seen as metaphors for the different stages of life, and the crescent represents the beginning of a cycle, where things are in the process of becoming, growing, and transforming. In palmistry, when you have a crescent moon mark on your hand, it symbolizes a strong connection to these energies. Here are the main spiritual meanings associated with the crescent moon mark. Strong intuition. The crescent moon is a sign of someone whose intuition is highly developed. If you have this mark, you may have an innate ability to sense things that others cannot, such as knowing when someone is upset even if they don't say anything, or having a strong gut feeling about a situation before it unfolds. Your intuitive abilities are a gift that helps you navigate life with an inner compass. Palmists often associate the crescent moon with the ability to pick up on energies around you and make decisions based on deep inner knowing rather than just logic. 2. Emotional sensitivity. The crescent moon on your hand suggests that you are emotionally sensitive. This can mean that you feel things deeply, whether it's love, sadness, joy, or even the emotions of those around you. You may find yourself being empathetic, sometimes even to the point of absorbing others' feelings. While this emotional depth makes you a compassionate person, it can also make you vulnerable to emotional overwhelm if you aren't careful. 3. Spiritual alignment. People with a crescent moon mark often feel a deeper connection to the spiritual realms. You might be someone who is constantly seeking deeper meaning in life, and you are naturally drawn to spiritual practices or philosophies that encourage introspection and personal growth. Whether you identify with a particular religion or consider yourself spiritual in a broader sense, the crescent moon signifies that you have an innate ability to connect with the unseen forces in the universe. You may feel an energetic pull toward practices like meditation, prayer, or energy healing. 4. Transformation and change. The crescent moon is a symbol of transformation and the cyclical nature of life. Just like the moon itself goes through phases, from crescent to full and back again, those with a crescent moon on their hand may go through personal transformations. You are someone who embraces change and growth, understanding that life is a series of evolving cycles. You might find that you go through periods of intense growth, followed by quieter, more introspective times. This ebb and flow of energy helps you evolve into a wiser, more balanced individual. 5. Creativity and inspiration. The crescent moon also holds a strong connection to creativity. People with this mark may be highly artistic or creatively driven. Whether you express yourself through writing, art, music, or another form, the crescent moon on your hand can suggest a powerful creative energy that flows through you. You may find that your best work is done during times of personal reflection or emotional insight, where you allow your feelings to guide your creative process. The crescent moon and your emotional world. If you have a crescent moon on your hand, you may notice that your emotional world is rich and complex. You might experience emotions more deeply than others, making you empathetic and understanding. You may have a natural tendency to protect those you love, feeling an intense responsibility to nurture and care for others. However, this emotional sensitivity can also be a double-edged sword. You may find yourself easily overwhelmed by negative emotions, whether your own or those of others. Learning to protect your emotional energy is important, especially if you're someone who tends to absorb the feelings of those around you. Practices like grounding, self-care, and energy protection can help you maintain emotional balance and prevent emotional burnout. It's also important to understand that your emotions are not a weakness. Instead, they are a gift that allows you to connect with others on a deep, meaningful level. The crescent moon marks you as someone who has a unique ability to relate to others' feelings, making you an ideal confidant and friend. The crescent moon and relationships. In relationships, the crescent moon on your palm can indicate a deep need for emotional connection. You're likely someone who values intimacy and authenticity in relationships. Superficial connections won't satisfy you. Instead, you seek deep bonds with those who understand and support you on an emotional and spiritual level. The crescent moon suggests that you are sensitive and attuned to your partner's emotional needs. You may have a natural ability to comfort and nurture, often knowing just the right words to say to make someone feel better. However, because you are so emotionally open, you might find yourself hurt easily if those around you are not as sensitive or emotionally available as you are. In love, you thrive when there is mutual understanding, trust, and a sense of emotional safety. Enhancing the energy of the crescent moon on your hand. If you have the crescent moon on your hand and want to enhance its energy, here are a few ways to connect with its spiritual power. Meditate under the moon. One of the best ways to harness the energy of the crescent moon is to meditate under the moonlight, especially during the waxing phase when the moon is growing. This phase is symbolic of new beginnings, growth, and transformation. Take time to sit outside, feel the energy of the moon, and reflect on your goals and intentions. Work with crystals. Crystals such as moonstone, selenite, and labradorite are all associated with the energy of the moon. These stones can help you enhance your intuition, connect with your emotional world, and foster spiritual growth. Keep them close to you, especially when you're meditating or reflecting on your life path. Trust your intuition. The crescent moon is a mark of intuition, so learning to trust your inner wisdom is key. Practice listening to your gut feelings and let them guide you in making decisions. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal life, trust that your intuition will not steer you wrong. Embrace change. The crescent moon symbolizes transformation, so embrace change as a part of your journey. Whether you're going through a big life transition or a subtle shift in your perspective, know that these changes are part of your spiritual evolution. Let go of fear and trust that every change is leading you towards something greater. The crescent moon on your hand is a beautiful and powerful symbol that connects you to deeper spiritual energies. If you have this mark, consider it a gift, one that symbolizes your intuitive nature, emotional depth, and spiritual journey. Embrace the qualities that come with it, and remember that you are not only in tune with the universe, but also capable of great transformation and growth. Thank you for joining us today, beautiful soul. We hope this video has provided you with valuable insights into the meaning of the crescent moon on your hand. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to Spiritual Magic and let us know in the comments if you have this mark. We love hearing from you, and your support means the world to us. Until next time, stay magical.